The very first real bank in history opened its doors in 575 BC, inside an ordinary mud brick house beside the Euphrates. But when archaeologists finally uncovered its archive 2,600 years later, they found one single sentence written on a clay tablet that no modern economist can still quite believe. Tonight, we're walking into that house, and we're going to read what they wrote. Imagine Babylon, around 600 BC. The morning mist is still rising off the Euphrates, wrapping itself around the massive glazed brick walls. The Ishtar Gate towers above the blue lions and dragons gleaming in the half-light. The air smells of warm bread, date syrup, and kiln smoke. There are no coins yet. Everything is weighed silver or barley. If a merchant wanted to travel to Susa or Uruk, he had to carry sacks of grain on donkeys or bars of silver on his back, praying to Marduk that no bandits found him. And if someone needed a loan, the only place to go was the Great Temple. Priests in white robes would lend you barley at 33 to 40% interest. Miss a payment, and your field became temple property. In one narrow alley of the merchant's quarter stood a large courtyard house that belonged to the Egibi family. 5 generations of grain and date traders. The head of the house, a man in his 50s named Iti Marduk Balatu, we call him Egibi for short, woke up one morning with a wild idea. He cleared the front courtyard, set up a few wooden tables, and hung a simple clay sign above the gate. House of Egibi accepts deposits, grants loans, guaranteed profit. No ceremony. No priests, no king's permission. The world's first private bank opened for business that very day. The first customer arrived trembling, an old farmer carrying 2 sacks of barley on a donkey. Egibi weighed it, 62 kur, handed the man a palm-sized clay tablet that read, Nabu Apla Edina deposits 62 kur of barley. Annual interest, 20%, transferable. The farmer stared at the tablet, then at the locked storeroom, then back at the tablet, and walked home without his barley for the first time in his life. Word spread faster than wildfire. By the end of the week, there was a queue. Within months, the Egibi Bank wasn't just accepting barley anymore. Silver ingots, slaves, farmland, even riverboats were deposited as collateral. A widow brought her entire inheritance in silver. The Great Temple of Marduk itself deposited several tons of grain because the Egibis paid better interest than the priests. Egibi and his 3 sons worked day and night writing tablets. Deposit tablets, loan tablets, interest tablets, transfer tablets, mortgage tablets. Intercity payment orders. The world's first check, the world's first wire transfer, the world's first compound interest. All invented right there on those wooden tables. When King Nabonidus needed money to rebuild the moon god temple in Haran, he borrowed from the Egibis. When Cyrus the Persian conquered Babylon in 539 BC without a fight, the Egibi Bank was still open and even lent money to Persian officers. 43 years, 5 generations, more than 4,000 surviving contracts. Then, silence. The family vanished from the records. Fast forward to 1876. An Assyrian English archaeologist named Hormuzd Rassam is digging in the mounds south of Baghdad. The sun is brutal, but the workers keep pulling out basket after basket of clay tablets. Thousands of them. When scholars in London finally translated the tablets, They couldn't speak for a long time. Every modern banking instrument we think we invented in the last 200 years already existed in that mud brick house 2,600 years ago. But one tablet, dated 560 BC, made everyone fall silent. It reads, in perfect legal Babylonian, "Should the house of Egibi for any reason be unable to return the deposits, the entire family property, houses, slaves, fields, and boats shall pass to the depositors, and no interest shall be charged." In other words, 2,600 years ago, a private bank voluntarily offered the world's first 100% deposit guarantee, something the United States only introduced after the Great Depression in 1933. And the most incredible part? That clause was never used. The Egibi Bank never failed. So the world's first bank wasn't in Athens, wasn't in Rome. It was in an ordinary house beside the Euphrates, run by a Babylonian family whose name is still readable on clay tablets today. Comment below. If you lived back then, would you have trusted your money to the Egibi Bank? And if you want to hear one of these forgotten stories every week, hit subscribe and turn on the bell right now.